Right. You know how long it's been? It's been since November since we've had this little discussion. And this is just me coming right off my promo matches where you put me in fucking bronze. You put me in hell. Anyways, enough of that. But we are talking about the newest champion, Jhin the Virtuoso. Now, before I gotta say, I got a soft spot for Jhin. I mean, what can I say? I like a man who knows how to wear a mask. Don't know why. But I do. But let's go ahead and move on with this. Jhin. You gave him a goddamn auto attack. That's an execute. You gave him an auto attack. That's an execute. What the? Gave him an auto attack. That's an execute. Okay, let's just get this started. Jhin the Virtuoso. Welcome to What the Fuck Riot. Now then, as I said, this guy's a little different than the rest of them. He doesn't scale with attack speed like a normal AD carry does. He doesn't scale with critical chance like a normal AD carry. Instead, both of those give him more attack. Damage. Yes. He gains more damage, which just increases his auto attack execute. Yeah, okay. Okay, now while that, I'll admit, is a pretty cool mechanic. Instead of scaling off of attack speed like a normal one, he has flat attack speed that doesn't rise up any more than that. So that does a little bit offset the fact that his every fourth attack is a fucking execute. And that's exactly what it is. It is an execute. He does more damage based on how much life you're missing. This is actually quite insane. Like I said, everyone else who has an execute, yeah, okay. It's usually applied to an ability. But not only does he have an execute on his passive, which is his auto attack, he also has it on his ultimate. And on his Q if you get 4 charges, which we'll get to in a second. But he has 2 fucking executes. Let's just say that for sure. He has 2 fucking executes. One on his auto attacks, and a second one on his ultimate. This is insane, but it's awesomely insane. But yeah, he has 2 fucking executes. One of them is his auto attack. One of them is his ultimate. But he can only fire 4 shots at a time before he has to reload. So there is a little bit of that, and there's no way to speed up the reload. But that's also another problem. He has 4 shots, and then he's out of a fight for about a second, 1 to 2 seconds, and that could change an entire fight right there. So either he has no way to reload it like Graves does with his quick draw. He has no way to reload. It's pop, 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 execute. Execute. And I wish I was kind of exaggerating, but at a 7.6 attack speed and about a 2-second reload, that's about right. And he doesn't have the longest range. He doesn't. He has some very long range abilities, but he himself doesn't have the longest range. He's mid-tier, but maybe about 600, 550 to 600 attack range. But so... Now, to be fair, his passive does give him a huge movement speed every time he crits, which, again, his execute is also a crit, so woohoo! So guess what? If you have an IE, that means you're doing extra damage with that execute because you have an IE and it's an automatic crit. Good job. Now, his crits do quite a bit less damage, by like 25% less damage than a normal crit. But it honestly doesn't even matter. He does, because his crit becomes attack damage, his attack speed becomes attack damage, his attack speed becomes movement speed, and his crit damage becomes something else. I don't even remember anymore. But yeah, every time he crits, he gains a burst of movement speed. Nice. Good job. Well, especially since he's has no movement speed whatsoever, and that's like the only way you can kill the asshole. But no, every time he crits, he gains quite a bit of movement speed based on his attack speed. Yeah, he gains quite a bit of movement speed. Great, not bad. Yeah, you're never gonna catch this asshole. Especially since a lot of the builds I've tried were crit and attack speed heavy, even though he doesn't scale with that. He gains attack damage for both of them, so his attack power goes through the roof, and his attack speed just makes him able to sprint around really quickly. Oh, this wouldn't be so bad. Every fourth attack he gets an automatic crit. Sure, why not? That wouldn't be so bad. Except he can still crit normally. Yeah, he can still crit fucking normally. So if you give him a 100% crit chance, which okay, not normally for most champions, but since he scales a little bit differently, that's not a bad idea to do. Crit. He's always having that movement speed buff. He's always his fourth attack is still the execute with a crit. So you're just doing a stupid amount of damage for 4 shots, and then you're not doing anything at all. And that's the thing. That is something that's about him. That's also a what the fuck. 4 attacks, and then he doesn't do anything. He has to get out of the fight until he reloads, and the reloading takes quite some time. Now, you can ult, but the ult's best used for late game, or not late game, the end of a team fight, or if you just do a skirmished bot lane and they're trying to run away, you just snipe them off. Granted, I didn't play in bot lane, as you can see. It's all top lane stuff, and I think I played a mid game. But yes, that is Jhin the Virtuoso. Now, his Q is pretty cool. It's a bouncy grenade that increases up by 35% for every target it kills, up to 3 times, which is pretty cool, but which also means he gets technically another execute. And it has really good scaling, and it has really good base damage. So, okay, fine, whatever. His W is a little trap which allows you to see, or no, his W is a long range, pretty thin skill shot. That snares if you auto attack a champion once, and or not just you, by the way, anyone on your team auto attacks or cast a spell on him. If you hit him with that, it's a snare, and you get the movement speed as if you critted him. So he has utility. He has movement speed. He doesn't have a real escape, which is good. If he had a real escape, it'd be over. And his E is a little trap. It's a little flower you throw on the ground. If enemies walk over it, it slows them, and if it explodes, it marks them. So you don't even have to auto attack them. And that's cool, but it's kind of boring. It's actually a bit like a worse Caitlyn trap or a worse Jinx chompers. It's not bad. It's interesting, and it gives the team a bit more utility. The thing is, this AD carry has a lot of fucking utility between his slows with his traps and his vision with the traps, plus his snares. And let's not even frickin' mention the ultimate, which actually, I'm going to get to that in a moment. But with his executes, he has a shit ton of damage in a very small window. But other than that, he's kind of useless to his team, because if you use any abilities while he's trying to reload, it interrupts reload and starts it all over again. So it's like, there's nothing you can do. Either that's a bug, which needs to be fixed, or this is intended and you need to do something else to lower that reload time by a lot. But with that, whatever. Let's start talking about his ultimate, which is actually the coolest fucking thing about Jhin. It is fucking awesome. You build yourself a sniper rifle out of your gun, because you are actually just fighting with like half a gun. It doesn't even have a freaking barrel. It's just the revolver and the trigger. You build yourself a fucking sniper rifle. Get vision in a huge cone in front of you, and you start taking pot shots at people, and again, it is an execute. His fourth shot, you notice there's a theme here. His fourth shot does 200% damage. It increases by how much life they're missing. I think it does a percentage of how much their life does mission, and it has, again, good scaling, good base. So, it has good scaling and it has good base. So he is an execute master, but I'll be honest, it fits his theme. He's a sniper rifle. He's an assassin. He's an 80 carry assassin, so honestly it does fit him. But he's kind of useless as a DPS. He actually has quite a bit of burst damage, but he's suited much more as an assassin, but he's an 80 carry. It's a little weird. It's not just a little bit, it's a very weird. I mean, I don't like bot lane. I've mentioned that many a time. So I played him top lane, and I got my ass wrecked. I'm not going to lie. But at first, I was actually destroying a Riven. A fucking Riven. And she got some ganks and put me way behind, and I wasn't paying attention. But I got my ass chewed up and spat out by the Riven. But at first, I was destroying her. If it wasn't for the fact that I got ganked and had a lot of pressure put on me, I would have destroyed the Riven in lane. And I'm an 80 carry. I have no escapes. There's no way for me to get in and out. Unless I get a very situational snare. And a very situational slow. But Riven has so much fucking mobility, and she couldn't do anything to me because of my execute auto attack. Because I just poke at her, execute her, run back before she could really retaliate on me, and just whittle her health down every fucking execute, would chunk her more and more because she was losing more and more health. That's pretty damn cool. Not gonna lie, because I hate Riven, but that is kind of hell for a normal lane comp. Yeah, you only get 4 attacks, and team fights that's really horrible. I'm not gonna lie, it's horrible in team fights. But in a bot lane scenario, unless your opponent has a Sona or a Soraka or a Taric where they are actively healing you, Jhin is going to just rampage the bot lane. So what the fuck are you doing, Riot? But gotta say, love a psychopath with a mask. Not sure why. But until then, I'll see you guys later. Fucking Riot.